Hey everybody, it's Maggie and welcome back to This or That. I have had a serious Disney bug lately, or maybe it's just a travel bug in general, but because I'm actually working on a couple of projects right now and I'm sort of working on filming those videos, I thought that it would be really fun to just do a Disney tag. And this fits really well, I feel like, with my channel because every tag is sort of like a this or that. Like you ask a question, you answer it, sort of this or that style. So I had seen a bunch of people do the Disney tag and I figured, why not? All right, so the first question is, a scene in any Disney movie you wish that you could experience? Oh gosh, okay. You know, I'd probably have to say in Aladdin, when Aladdin has just become Prince Ali and Jasmine doesn't want anything to do with him, but somehow he manages to go woo her off the porch of the castle and they get to fly around on the magic carpet. I think that would be pretty awesome, just because, I mean, who doesn't want to fly on a magic carpet? Also, I don't know, I always say that like in a different life, if I didn't, you know, like have my profession, or if my life had taken a different turn, or maybe I can just save for retirement, I always think it would be really cool to go to culinary school. So maybe I would actually want a day in the life of Remy from Ratatouille. That could be really good. So maybe I'd want to experience, that's not necessarily a scene, but that's sort of a whole movie. So those are good options. I'm clearly not a very decisive person, so it's very interesting that my channel is a very decisive concept. Okay, so the second question is an unforgettable experience or moment that you've had at the parks. And this one is really easy. Well, I sort of have two, but I'm gonna stick with one this time around since I gave you two on the first answer. But this past September, Brian and I went to Disney World and we were in Epcot, and that day was scorching hot. I mean, we were sweating from the minute that we stepped into the parks. We had noticed that the clouds were rolling in, but it wasn't a big deal. We were just hoping for a little bit of relief from the sun. And it happened to be the Food and Wine Festival, so we sat there and we were going back and forth with dinner. We were like, should we just go around to a bunch of different countries and get multiple dishes from the Food and Wine Festival for dinner, or should we just go sit down and sort of enjoy a nice leisurely dinner? So we saw the clouds rolling in and the wind picking up, and we were like, you know what, I think it'd be a better idea for us to just go sit in a restaurant, so this way, if it rains, we're not caught out in the rain. Order our food. The pizza was wonderful. That place is awesome if you're looking for a place to go. But anyway, we hear the thunder as soon as we get our check, and we're like, no way. And we look over and it is just torrential downpour. But because it's Disney, like, we felt bad because so many people were waiting on a table, and so we were like, you know what, we just have to face it. We have ponchos. We had bought a poncho earlier in the trip for him because he forgot to bring one. And so we start walking, and he is 6'4", so a very tall guy, so a poncho is not necessarily going to cover you. And we were absolutely soaked, and it was at the point where we just stopped running and stopped avoiding it and just sort of embraced the rain, and it was hysterical. Like, I don't think we've ever laughed so hard in our entire lives because it was just so funny because there was just nothing you could do about it, and we were completely soaked, like tennis shoes, socks, everything. But anyway, really good experience in the park. So what non-Disney songs remind you or bring back memories of Disney or the parks? A non-Disney song? Can you count a Phil Collins song that was, I don't know. I really don't know an answer to this question. Mostly because Disney songs are sort of a staple in my everyday life, and so I don't really need non-Disney songs to remind me of Disney when I can just listen to a Disney song. The next question is, when was the first time you went to a Disney park? I want to say it was sometime around 1994 or 1995. I had to have been 2 or 3, so a really long time ago. And the first place I ever went was Disney World. We never went to Disneyland until I was somewhere around like 8 or 9, maybe a little older than that. If you could choose any Disney character to be your best friend, who would you choose? Honestly, I would say Rex from Toy Story. You know, like the green dinosaur. I think he's so funny. He's hysterical. I know that's a really unconventional answer, but he cracks me up every single time, and I think I would love to have him around all the time to make me laugh. Who are your favorite Disney princesses? So when I was little, I grew up loving Belle. That's what I told my mom I wanted to watch all the time, was Belle, Belle, Belle. But I went through a phase where I like fell off of liking Beauty and the Beast, but now of course with the revival, and who doesn't love Emma Watson, like, you've got to say you want to be friends with Belle. So honestly, I think if we're thinking in the grand scheme of like Disney princesses, I think that I'm probably most like Belle. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with Belle. I think she's gonna be my favorite Disney princess. Name, oh, I know this one right off the bat after reading the question. It says, name a scene or moment in a Disney movie that never fails to make you cry. Easy. Andy and I are the same age, Andy from Toy Story, and when Toy Story 3 came out, it was the same year that I was graduating high school, and my mom and I went to see the movie together, and at the very end, when Andy is packing up all of his toys to give to the little girl that was featured, I don't even know if she's like a neighbor or something. Also, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen Toy Story 3 by now, then you're probably not watching this video because you do not care about Disney enough. But when he's packing up his toys to give to the little girl and just like moving on to that next chapter and going to college, I was going through the same transition because it happened during the summer after I graduated high school. And I remember my mom and I just boo-hooing in the theaters over that scene. And still to this day, that makes me cry like a baby. What is the first Disney movie you remember seeing? Oh, it had to have probably been The Lion King, 101 Dalmatians, Aladdin, or Beauty and the Beast. I know that's a lot, but those were like the 4 staples in our house. Yeah, so it had to have been one of those. I'm wanting to say 101 Dalmatians, but I know that's probably not right. So maybe my mom can chime in on this one. What is your favorite Disney movie? I think I'm gonna have to say Toy Story.
I know that I keep on bringing up Pixar because I think that counts because it's like Disney Pixar.
But honestly, Toy Story is something that I've seen again and again and again, and I still laugh, I still enjoy it. I can quote the whole thing, but I really think that that's my favorite, is Toy Story. And that's Toy Story 1. Toy Story 2 and 3 are both really good, and I'm excited because they're coming out with a Toy Story 4, but I truly think that the first Toy Story takes the #1 spot for me. Who's my favorite Disney villain? I don't really love any villain. But I guess if you have to pick one, I would probably say the least threatening villain, in my opinion, is definitely Captain Hook. The guy never has it going on. He's so dumb. So he's really the least harmful villain. But I want to say that Jafar is probably my favorite villain, but mostly because of Iago. Because Iago is hysterical. So I think I'm going to go my favorite villain is Jafar, even though I sort of like Captain Hook because he's not very harmful. What is my least favorite Disney movie? Cool. There's sort of a lot, surprisingly. Honestly, I've never seen Sleeping Beauty all the way through, so it's probably not fair for me to say it's my least favorite. But of what I've seen, I would have to say something like really obscure, like The Sword and the Stone. Oh, Bambi. No, I don't like Bambi. Bambi is probably my least favorite Disney movie because that is just too sad. Whoever thought that was good for kids was crazy. I'm definitely going to say Bambi's my least favorite. What is my favorite Disney song? This would probably be I See the Light from Tangled. Because Mandy Moore, come on, she's awesome. I really, really love her. So that is a really good song. But I also really like You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story. So between those two, You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story has been my favorite for longer, so maybe I should go with that. But I See the Light is probably one of my most played recently songs. Okay, what Disney character has your personality or your dream personality? And off the top of my head, I'm sort of thinking, and this really stinks, but I sort of think that Marlin, Nemo's dad. I think that Nemo's dad and I, now I'm sort of acting like Dory. I think that Marlin, Nemo's dad, and I sort of share a similar personality. We're a little like cautious, like don't do that, you could get hurt. We really mean it in the best way possible. But I honestly think that's just one side of my personality. Gosh, this could be so many. I think that I'm gonna say I'm most like Tiana because I'm always sort of looking ahead to the next thing. I'm not really that comfortable just staying in one place for a long time. I really am sort of like a try something out, do something different. But I'm a very practical person, sort of like she was. Like she had this big dream to open this restaurant, so she knew she needed a lot of money, so she worked really hard. So I feel like we share a very similar personality in like the self-motivation aspect and how we always are just sort of like wanting a little bit more and dreaming a little bit bigger. But a dream personality would probably be somebody like Sully from Monsters, Inc. because he's really confident in who he is, but he's also so laid back. Like he doesn't worry about the next step, whereas I'm the biggest worrywart ever. Sully is just somebody who sort of has it all together, but he also gets to be relaxed at the same time and not stress about everything. So that I would say those fit me pretty well. If you could change any scene in a Disney movie, what would it be and why? I honestly think that the beginning scene in Up is so sad. And I really want to see Carl and his wife, you know, living a life together that's not just through like a video montage. I sort of want to see them interact. But that would have changed the entire storyline of Up, so that probably isn't the best example, but I really hate that. If you had to get stuck on any ride in the Disney parks for more than 30 minutes, what ride would it be? I think this is easy peasy, and that would be the Great Movie Ride in Hollywood Studios, because this was one of those rides that when I was little and I was scared to ride anything, I would want to ride this over and over and over again. And there's so many different scenes, there's so much to get out and see. This is assuming that you can get out and explore, because you could see, you know, all of the Wizard of Oz set, which is so great, and Singing in the Rain, and it's just such a good ride with so many different, you know, little spaces to go into and to explore. So I think I would want to get stuck on the Great Movie Ride. I really love Hollywood Studios. I honestly think, and this is a little bold, that I might even put that above Magic Kingdom. Like, it might be my favorite park because I love the movies. I mean, I told you earlier that Brian and I went to Disney World recently, and we were so, like, it was so easy for us to fill an entire day at Hollywood Studios, and that was when half of the place was under construction. So I can only imagine how great it's going to be once they get the Star Wars land and the new not Toy Story, Pixar land up and running. I think that it's just going to really, like, blow people away. And so, yeah, definitely the Great Movie Ride if I had to get stuck. All right, so I think that that was the last question on the Disney tag, so I guess it's time to wrap this up, but I really enjoyed doing this tag. If you're interested in watching some more videos like this, there are a million out there. Just search in the YouTube search bar Disney tag, and let me know if you see any other questions that you may want me to answer. I really enjoyed doing this, and I think it's a really good fit for the this or that style of my channel. So please like this video if you liked it and subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of this community, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.